Hello, welcome back to the second video. Now, we have asked you to draw things from around the house for this project. Now, I've collected several things. I've got this Colgate bottle. Other brands are available. I've got a bottle of my wife's eye serum, and I've got this little candle holder like that. Now, these are actually, well, they look quite simple. They're quite difficult to draw. And before we get to that, I'm going to give you another little exercise for you to practice on. So if you think about most of these objects, when you see them, they're symmetrical. You know, most of the objects we buy are symmetrical. You know, there has a line of symmetry down the middle of that object like that. Now, I'm going to practice some drawing and just practice. And as always, you know, practice makes you much better. So I'm going to take a rectangle. Now, I would often, at this point, I'd be rotating the page, but to try and get my line straight to the edge. But, you know, because it's getting filmed, I'm not going to rotate the page. So I'm going to draw a series of boxes. Now, they don't have to be perfect. They don't have to be, you know, the same. They can all be different. And I'm just going to practice dividing them up. Now, so I've got some boxes. So I'm going to divide this one up, and I'm going to make it symmetrical around that middle point like that. So I'm going to start thinking about my sizes. So I want to keep this one full along the top, but I'm going to come down halfway. So I've got halfway like that. And I'm going to project that across to the other side to give me 2 points. Then I think I might come down on this one. Maybe I'll bring it into here. So I might go halfway again. So I've divided that into quarters. I can see that probably, you know, this bit's, yeah, that's not too bad. And I'm going to practice, and I'm going to bring them in, maybe 1, 2, couple of runs at it, and then, so I've got my first object. Like that. Nice and simple. Then I'm going to try something else. I'm going to make this one symmetrical down the middle again. And this time I might start with a quarter and a quarter. So divide those 2 bits into halves. And I think I might go down maybe to a third down here. A third, let's have a little look. It's not quite, is it? So I think maybe if I take that up, check with my pen, yeah, somewhere about there. Now I want to make this symmetrical, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that across to there like that. And I'm going to practice a couple of times, and then I'm going to go between the 2 lines. So practice, and then now I can see that that line there isn't straight, so I'm going to straighten that up like that. I'm going to go outside the box a little bit. Yeah. So I've got my next one. Then I'm going to practice my next one again. So I'm going to make this symmetrical again. You can see how quick these are. This time I'm going to go from a point. I'm going to start in the middle. And I'm going to go down to about halfway. So I'm going to draw that across. So I've got my other point there. Then I'm going to divide that one again, maybe halfway. And I'm going to take that one across. I'm going to practice. And then go for it. Darken them in. And this time I think I'll go all the way across the bottom of this one. So I've got this space down here with nothing in it. So I'm going to bring something down in here. And again, I'm going to keep it symmetrical around this middle bit. So I'm going to say halfway, halfway, and so you can see now that these are starting to look almost. You can imagine that as a stopper on a bottle, or the top of a spray can, or a, you know, something like that. So I'm going to do this another one here. Just practice again, and I'm going to bring it in about a third this time. About a third. I'm going to divide that up into 3 bits. I can see that that one's maybe too big, so I'm going to move that line up slightly like that. And this time I think I'll go halfway, halfway. Practice. Practice. Bring that down all the way across. Now if you start to think, you know, that's starting to look a little bit like the bottom of this. So maybe this will help me when I'm drawing this. So that's why I'm practicing that. Let's go back in this time, make this a little bit. So this bit here, I'm going to divide into a third. So a third, and put a third there. And I'm going to bring that in. So that's my first practice like that. And what I'm going to do, just to make them stand out a little bit more, is I'm going to take a thick pen and I'm going to go around the outline on the outside of them to make them stand out a little bit more so you can see them a little bit clearer. So I'm going to stop the video there and I'm going to get you to go and practice them. So draw some squares, some rectangles, and then try dividing them up. And you're just making shapes. You're not making houses, you're not making anything in particular. You're just practicing dividing up, projecting across, and coming up with some basic shapes like that. Okay, thank you.